Hello everyone, welcome you all back to my channel. Today I thought of doing a video about insurance chapter, and insurance chapter is one of the biggest chapters available in your syllabus. Therefore I have created 4 videos to cover entire chapter. So this is part 1. In this video I'm going to discuss about what is an insurance and what are the principles of insurance. And after watching this I invite all of you all to go and watch other videos as well, and at the same time don't forget to subscribe. First of all, we'll see what is an insurance and some of the key terms used in insurance. Insurance is an agreement between an insurance company and someone who wants to have this insurance. Someone could be an individual or it could be an organization who wants to have this insurance. And insurance company is known as an insurer, and the person who applies for this insurance is simply called the insured party. And why would a person or an organization wants to have this insurance? That simply they can get a financial protection if any type of risk occurs, such as accidents, fire. So if a particular loss occurs, insurance company will pay them with a certain amount of money depending on the damage happened. So that amount of money is simply called the compensation. So from that compensation, individuals or organizations can recover themselves from different kind of damages. So insurance companies are businesses and therefore they charge for their service. The charge they make is called premium, and the contract drawn up between the insurer and the insured is simply known as policy. In this slide, you can see I have summarized everything with the keyword. So it's an agreement between insurance company and the insured party. So you can see this person is simply insured party. He's the one who's applying for this insurance. An insurance company is called the insurer. So you can apply insurance from insurance company to get protected from different kind of risk. So depending on the insurance that you are applying, you have to pay certain amount of money to this insurance company because insurance companies are doing business. So insurance company at the beginning, they will request you to pay certain amount of money to obtain this insurance cover. That amount of money is called the premium. And once you pay this premium, insurance company will sign an agreement with you against different kind of risk, and that agreement is simply called insurance policy. So based on the policy, if any sort of risk occurs, insurance company is liable to pay you compensation. So compensation is the amount of money paid by the insurance company to recover from different kind of damages. So these are the normal key terms we used in insurance chapter. Now we'll see purpose of insurance. So main purpose of insurance is to obtain financial protection from different kind of risks such as fire, accident, health risk. So if any of those risks happens, you get compensation from the insurance company. So you can recover yourself from any of the damages. So that will reduce your risk. And at the same time, if it is a business, it will increase the business confidence because in future, if anything goes wrong, you have insurance companies to provide financial protection. So without worrying, you can try new things, you can do new experiments. So if anything goes wrong, you get compensation from the insurance company. So overall, it will increase the business confidence. Plus, if you are an investor, you can invest your money in an insurance company because insurance companies, they're doing business. So they make profit. So from the profit they make, you will get a dividend at the end of the year or at the end of a certain period of time. So these are the main purposes of insurance. Pooling of insurance is another important thing in insurance. At the beginning I explained if you want to have an insurance protection, you have to pay premium to the insurance company. So if there are 1,000 consumers in the insurance company, all these 1,000 consumers has to pay premium. So all these premiums goes to one fund which is operated by insurance company. This fund is called pool. When everyone pays premium and when all this premium goes to this fund, it will create a large pool of money. So that is why we say the many small sums of money people and businesses pay in premiums form a large pool of money. And when contributor suffers a loss, there is enough money in the pool to compensate them, because all the consumers are not going to face risk at the same time. Maybe one or two consumers will face risk. So if there's a risk happen, so organizations, insurance company have enough money to compensate them. So cooperating with others in this way means that risks are spread and shared between many people and organizations that have contributed to the insurance pool. So this is simply called pooling of insurance. Now we'll see what are the different types of insurance principles available. So insurance principles are certain types of norms and ethics that we have to consider when we are dealing with insurance company regarding any type of insurance cover we obtain. In general, there are 5 different types of insurance principles. Those are indemnity, contribution, subrogation, insurable interest, and utmost good faith. Now we'll see what are these principles in detail. First of all, we'll see indemnity. Indemnity states that a person should be compensated for a loss, not make a profit from it. For an example, if the damage value is $1,000, you should not request $1,500 from your insurance company. If you request more than the actual value of your damage, it means you are making profit out of it. So indemnity principle says you should not make profit out of any sort of risk happens to you. So you have to get only the amount of money which you can recover from those risks. So this applies to all types of insurance except life insurance and personal accident insurance. Reason, it's very difficult for us to calculate the damage cost of any of these situations, especially life assurance. An insurance company will try to compensate you for the loss so you can recover from the loss. And there's another example we can use to discuss about this indemnity. If your 5-year-old car is damaged, instead of repairing, your insurer will give the money from which you would be able to buy the car of the same model which is 5 years old, instead of making payment from which you can buy a new car. So this is what indemnity principle is. Contribution. If insured try to obtain insurance cover against the same risk from different insurers, all the insurers will contribute to the loss. This principle actually prevents an organization or an individual from insuring against the same loss with more than one insurance company and claiming the full compensation for this loss from each insurance company. So for an example, if a building valued at £100,000 is burned down, and imagine this business owner has insured this building with 2 different companies called A and B, and for A company he has paid £50,000 and then B company he has paid £50,000. Now suddenly, maybe because of fire, now entire building burned down. Now what happens, both of these insurance companies will get together and they will estimate the damage cost. If the damage cost is £100,000, then both of these companies will pay 50% of this 100,000 because this owner has insured the building among these 2 companies. So 2 companies will get together, they will share the compensation and then they will pay to the business owner. So this is simply called contribution. You can't have full contribution or you can't have full compensation from each company. Both the companies will get together and they will pay the compensation. So another example, contribution does not apply where someone has deliberately insured the same risk with 2 different companies. Example, motor insurance policies for the same car. You can't have 2 different company policies. So that's simply contribution principle. Subrogation. Subrogation, in a sense, once insurer has made the payment of the claim to the beneficiary, the item belongs to the insurance company. This means, now assume that once an organization or an individual receives compensation payment against an item such as a car which has been stolen, they do not have any ownership rights if the vehicle is recovered later. Another example we can say, now imagine you have jewelry, and most of the expensive jewelry sometimes we insure. So if your jewelry got lost, you can get compensation from the insurance company, and once you receive this compensation, the ownership of this jewelry goes to the insurance company because you have received the compensation. And later, if you found this jewelry, you don't have any rights to keep that jewelry with you. You have to give that jewelry to the insurance company. So that is subrogation insurance policy. Next, insurable interest states that the insured must have a direct or financial interest in what is insured. So actually this principle assumes that any organization or an individual wishing to insure must be in a position to suffer possible loss which they are insuring against. And the organization or an individual must legally own what is being insured. For an example, if you want to insure a vehicle, you must be the owner of that vehicle. So only owner can insure the vehicle. And at the same time, if you have a house, if you want to insure it, owner has to insure house and just go and apply the insurance company. So everything has to be done by the person who legally owns that property. So this prevents organizations or individuals from trying to gain from other people's misfortune. Last principle is called utmost good faith, states that all parties in insurance must tell the truth and give all relevant facts. So applies to all types of insurance. Nothing should be concealed from the insured. So failure to disclose the truth make the policy void. So all parties, in a sense, both the insured party and both the insurer, insurance company, and the person or the organization who applies for this insurance has to provide all the accurate information when they are applying for this insurance. So otherwise, if they provide any of the inaccurate information, that will consider as they are violating the policy of insurance, or else we consider it as they are violating the utmost good faith principle. So you have to provide all the accurate information at the beginning by both the parties to create a very good agreement between insurer and the insured. So this is the last principle of insurance. Thank you everyone for watching my video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel, and I invite all of you to come and watch part 2 insurance chapter video.